Like many households in the Grant community full of boys, football is on the minds of many. Hi, General fans. What an exciting time of year as the leaves begin to change and the kids are back in school. And that can only mean one thing. It's football season. Hi there. Carmen Von Arks here. I'm the president of Friends of Grant Football. As you may know, our Grant community is committed to creating an opportunity for all of our students to strap up the helmet and play what I consider the greatest sport on grass. The Friends of Grant Football strives to enrich the lives of all of our players, students, and alumni, and our neighborhood by providing a program that sustains generation to generation in the pursuit of academic and athletic excellence. Football may be our game, but education is our aim. The foundation of the Generals is built on integrity, accountability, inclusion, and a proud competitive spirit. If you'd like to get more involved, please visit our website at friendsofgrantfootball.com. That's friendsofgrantfootball.com. And go Generals.
Brian here for Grant Boosters, who help raise money for Grant's High School's many diverse clubs and athletic teams. Grant's clubs and teams keep our kids inspired, active, and connected. The success of Grant's clubs and teams would not be possible without the support of parents, friends, and family like you. Please donate today to continue these wonderful activities. Please go to grantgives.com.
Of the bleachers. Before 6:40, have every parent be underneath the bleachers tonight. We will have our announcements of our seniors and cheer team at 6:42 p.m. 6:42 p.m. to announce the seniors. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And a very happy Friday the 25th of October to you and your families, as fall is officially here. And that only means one thing: high school homecoming week. What is homecoming? Is it a time to welcome and recognize old alumni who helped lay the foundation for generations to come? Is it to celebrate the exceptional achievements of high school seniors? Is it the traditional football game? Is it the Saturday dance? Or is it an opportunity to put on a shirt and tie and for the ladies to find that perfect dress? The first homecoming was in Missouri in 1911. Fast forward to today, the City of Roses, and that tradition continues here at Grant High School. And what a night that we have in store, as these seniors will be honored before the game with their families and be recognized in front of classmates and friends. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting Grant football game right here on the Grant Sports Network. The Grant Generals are atop the PIL as they stand 3-0 in conference with 2 games remaining. But tonight they welcome in the Lightning of Franklin High School. We got ourselves a good one. When we come back, those seniors will be recognized with family and friends. Your 2020 senior class, who has done so much to lay the foundation for all of those youngsters to follow them. We're 25 minutes away to kick this one off here. Brian Gregg, Brody behind the lens. Glad he could join us here on the final home game for the Generals. We'll be back.
54, Will Hindrum. At left guard, number 55, Johnny Jones. Starting at center, number 50.
Hi, Grant General fans. These broadcasts would not be possible without the wonderful support of our great local companies. One company in particular that I want to recognize is Squires Electric Incorporated, which was founded in 1998. Through 20 years of dedication, Squires has provided excellent workmanship, extraordinary service, and have surrounded themselves with the best electricians in the industry. It's one of the company's core values to support the community, and they're proud to be able to enrich the lives of children and help provide the tools needed to succeed. Visit Squires Electric Incorporated, a proud sponsor. Fans, you all know that giving back to your community can be one of the most gratifying things one can feel. But one person in particular is Kenneth Acker, former Grant alum athlete, and NFL player for the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Kenneth Acker founded the Ackrite Foundation as he brought his generosity to Friends of Grant Football as a gold-level sponsor this year, as he helps our players with the important equipment they need to be safe and effective. The Ackrite Foundation also sponsored the first Grant-hosted 7-on-7 tournament this year. Kenneth Acker and the Ackrite Foundation has been an incredible example to our players of what can be accomplished through hard work in sports and education. Big thank you to the Ackrite Foundation and the generosity of Kenneth Acker, Grant alum.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. Brian Gregg, Brody, Mitch Buchheit will join us here in a moment. But as we talked about before we went to the break, this class of seniors of 2020 will play their last game in front of family and friends here at Marshall campus. Let's talk about Grant. The Generals are 2 games away from locking up their 27th PIL title and have a huge opportunity to host a home playoff game. They take care of business tonight, they will win the PIL, and then they'll take on Lincoln next Friday night. But Coach Beck, as always, wants to make sure his team is always focused, and we always know that Coach Beck takes great pride in making sure that if you're taking on opponents, that you're always prepared coming in. I had a chance to sit down with head coach John Beck, and this week's At Your Beck and Call, Coach's Corner.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. Brian Gregg, we're live on senior night and homecoming. And in this segment, At Your Beck and Call, Coach's Corner, I'm joined with head football coach John Beck. And Coach, senior night and homecoming, talk about what these seniors mean to this program, to you and also to the school.
Oh, they're not just good players, they're great kids, with good character. And I'll never forget one of the first times I came to Grant, and I went down in the weight room and I saw 2 kids just killing it, and they're just going crazy. And it was Luke McCullough and Peter Zahari. And I thought to myself, you know what? If I got guys that busted that hard in the off season, I go, we can win. We have a shot. And kids like that, they're just great character kids, not just great ball players. You really have a chance to have a good program and a good team.
Speaking of a good program and good kids, Coach, this week came out the OSAA academic GPA, and you guys are a 3.1 GPA right now. Do you see a correlation between a good GPA and success on the field as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you do a lot more with smart guys than not as smart guys, and so that's good. But I think we were a 3.2 last year. But anyways, darn it. But, not bad.
Coach, everybody talks about your explosive offense. I want to talk a little about the defense. This year, you guys have only given up, on an average this year, 18 points per game. What do you attribute that to?
Oh, I think Coach Melson and Coach Kinsey and Coach Taylor, our defensive coaches, have done a fantastic job, getting the kids to understand the scheme that's not real complex, but it's complex enough to cause the other team some issues, and the kids can play fast. And if it's simple and you can play fast, you can have a pretty good defense if you get them to run to the ball. And those guys do. Coach Melson's done a fantastic job.
Coach, with it being homecoming, a lot of these boys will play in front of their family and friends for the last time, or a lot of these seniors fired up to play in front of their family and friends, and also have an opportunity to have mom or family member escort them out to center field.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird things. Senior night is really a weird deal, and historically seniors don't always play their best because all the emotions and stuff, and hard to keep it in check, so we talked all week about keeping your emotions in check and just focusing on the game as best you can, even though you probably can't, but whatever. And it's a real special night for the families.
Coach, standing behind me here is Franklin High School, Wes Warren. I know who you know quite well. Is it always fun for you to, obviously during the off season, you guys see each other quite a bit, but when you have to strap it up, it's a little bit different. You guys go pretty far back, you and Wes.
Yeah, Wes is a super good guy. I remember meeting him when he was coaching up at Bellevue, and he's just a great coach and just a better person, And he's just, when you watch his teams play, you could tell that they're well well coached. I mean, they have great schemes. Kids are disciplined. They play the whole 48 minutes, and that's what you're going to get when you play a West Warren team. So you better strap it up and be ready to go.
Am I hearing that he runs the double wing? Is that the room?
No.
Okay.
He used to run the wing T, which is different than the double wing.
Yeah.
And now he's spreading it. He's running some veer option out of that and throwing the ball a lot more and spread it out to give his skill guys some chances in space. And they've improved from the start of the season to now a lot. And so, people go to sleep on a West Warren team, you're going to be in trouble. So I hope we're not sleeping.
Coach, one last question for you here. Everybody is wondering, and this is you're going to have to think outside the box here. We're approaching Halloween here.
Yeah.
What is Coach Beck going to wear on Halloween next week?
Nothing. I'm hopefully going to take my daughter trick-or-treating, Maddie, and she's going to be Mary Poppins. So maybe I'll be Dick Van Dyke in that or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Coach, thanks so much. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll provide our analysis of the game, senior night and homecoming right here on the Grant Sports Network.
Hi fans, Brian and Mitch here for Blind Onion Pizza and Pub, a neighborhood favorite pizza joint close to Grant and offering great honest pizza, sandwiches, salads, and their craft beers. The Blind Onion offers a casual, nostalgic, fun atmosphere and has a strong focus on delicious pizza, making it a popular hangout that fits perfectly in the community. Check out the delicious house special pizzas and oven-baked sandwiches. And don't forget about their wonderful appetizers and excellent salads with bargain prices on microbrews and special pizza creations. The Blind Onion, located at 3345 Northeast Broadway Street, right here in Portland. Either after the game or anytime. Blind Onion Pizza and Pub.
Welcome back. Brian Gregg, Brody, the man behind the lens. We just had an opportunity to hear from head coach John Beck, and Coach talked about his costume this year for Halloween, as he will be taking his daughter as she will dress up as Mary Poppins on a brisk night here in the Rose City on senior night and homecoming as the pep band in full force, the General Army. But speaking of brisk individuals, I'd be remiss and I'd be doing our viewers a disservice if I didn't welcome in my man, Mitch Bukite. Mitch, how are you? Great to have you on the broadcast.
Well, it's great to be back. It feels good, to get behind this great team that we got here. Brody, of course, doing what he does, and you to my left here, as always, Brian Gregg, and just ready to just watch some good football and get back on track with things and see what we can pull together here on homecoming night, I believe, or senior night and homecoming night. So it's going to be a good broadcast, good football game. I'm excited to get things going.
Well, as I mentioned as we opened up the broadcast, Mitch, the Generals are 2 games away from finishing out their season. However, they win tonight, they will clinch their 27th PIL championship as they take on the Lightning of Franklin. Mitch, you've been around sports a lot of years. You've played in a lot of football games. You've been on championship caliber type of organizations. Talk about, as a player, what goes through your mind knowing that you have an opportunity to bring home that first piece of hardware, and that's that PIL title.
Well, one thing you got to stay focused, and because you're going to be drawing up a lot of emotions here. You're going to be reading stuff on the internet. Twitter goes a long way these days. The coaches, they're aware of it. They're trying to keep these guys one game at a time as we're starting to boil things down for the season and have a chance to kind of clinch that PIL championship once again. And so you really just want to, keep yourself focused, all the cliches, one play at a time, and get into halftime. You want to break this game down in halves and just get out there, get the run game going as we normally do here with a little dip over the top here, and get into halftime with the lead, come back out and really punch these guys right in the gut here and get things going in the second half and get home with a victory and bring home that PIL championship.
Mitch Bukite, Brian Gregg here, Brody Mathers, the man behind the lens, the wizard. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we will honor those great seniors in the class of 2020. We're live here at the Marshall campus. Don't go anywhere.
Hi fans, Brian here. As a former athlete who certainly felt the aches and pains of growing up playing football, I appreciate the work that chiropractors do, but look no further than to the Bodhi Tree Clinic right here in Northeast Portland. The Bodhi Tree Clinic is a whole care clinic dedicated to physical health, recovery, and healing. They specialize in rehabilitation from injuries related to sports, work, auto accidents, personal injuries, as well as treatment for neck and back pain. Dr. Dillon of the Bodhi Tree Clinic is Grant's team chiropractor and gives the players time and attention in making sure their bodies are feeling good and moving right. For more information, please visit their website at thebodhitreeclinic.com.
Welcome into the broadcast here. Brian Gregg, Mitch Buchheit. Great to have you here as the fans, and more importantly, Welcome into the broadcast here. Brian Gregg, Mitch Bukite on homecoming night and senior night, as we just had the opportunity to see 11 great seniors have an opportunity to play in front of family and friends as the pep band out in full force, the General Army up and ready to go. As for tonight, if the Generals can walk out of here victorious, they will clinch their 27th PIL title and give themselves an opportunity to have a possible home game. I would anticipate a home game, but then they have to face those pesky Cardinals in the Battle of the Bridges next Friday night. But, Mitch, as we have talked about so many times, you can't look forward. You can't look at the hardware that gets hung quite yet. You got to focus on tonight. What does Coach Beck tell his team coming in tonight?
Well, he's got to tell them, first off, he's got to get the run game going. Because once you get the run game started, then you can start passing off the little flare routes there that he likes to, maybe a drag route there from Peter Zahari. He's going to be looking for a lot of those little small routes there, as we normally do. It's just flare routes and drag routes. And then once you get that established, then you look over the top. And you got your big guys there, your Luke McCulloughs, your Luke Burchard going down the field there. And that really opens up everything there. So run dominant, open up the passing game, and kind of see what these guys have got in store for you.
We got ourselves a good one here. We'll take one last time out. And we come back, we will honor our seniors. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, fans. Brian here. As a former athlete who certainly felt the aches and pains of growing up playing football, I appreciate the work that chiropractors do. But look no further than to the Bodhi Tree Clinic right here in Northeast Portland. The Bodhi Tree Clinic is a whole care clinic dedicated to physical health, recovery, and healing. They specialize in rehabilitation from injuries related to sports, work, auto accidents, personal injuries, as well as treatment for neck and back pain. Dr. Dillon of the Bodhi Tree Clinic is Grant's team chiropractor and gives the players time and attention in making sure their bodies are feeling good and moving right. For more information, please visit their website at thebodhitreeclinic.com.
I think I've always known he was going to do something like this. He did not want to do active duty because he wants to do college first. I think that was the biggest thing for him, instead of waiting and then doing college after.
One of the differences I noticed when he came back from basic training, he was more organized in how he was going about things a little bit. I know he commented that a lot of things his classmates would do that it didn't bother him before, but now he realizes, because he's been outside of high school, I think maybe he's a little more responsible.
He's thinking about his future a lot more. He talks about it and the different possibilities. And he mentioned the ROTC program as well. And he said, I could graduate as an officer. And so I was kind of excited when he mentioned that he could do that as well.
I would just tell people, if their son or daughter was considering the National Guard, that I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's something that can really help somebody grow. And at the same time, you're serving your country, which is a great thing too. So I think it's a good opportunity.
Welcome back to Marshall campus. As we had talked about, senior night, homecoming night, and Mitch, you have certainly played in your fair share of homecoming outings in your day. How exciting is it for these young men to, one, play in front of their family, their friends, but also it's the last time they ever get to play here at this home field.
Yeah, it's a special moment for these guys. And I did play in a lot of homecoming games. I did play in my fair share of senior games. I played a lot of sports, different kind of sports, and I think that's important too for kids to do. I know we spoke about that before, but what do you want to? It's so exciting here tonight. It's going to be the last time you play for the home team. as you know, we're on the road here, as you mentioned, next week against Lincoln. And so really what these guys have to do is go out there and show that excitement on the first play. Get out there, pop somebody, perhaps, you know, get a turnover on defense right away. You know, keep the sideline engaged, get the coaches fired up. What the coaches get fired up, believe it or not. And what they'll do is they'll open up the playbook, and they just kind of makes it fun for everybody at that point.
So as the two teams make their way out to the center of the football field and exchange handshakes to identify who will be kicking and who will be receiving. We'll take another timeout, but when we come back, we will feature the seniors of this class of 2020. You're watching live coverage of Grant football right here on the Grant Sports Network.
Hi, Grant General fans. These broadcasts would not be possible without the wonderful support of our great local companies. One company in particular that I want to recognize is Squires Electric Incorporated, which was founded in 1998. Through 20 years of dedication, Squires has provided excellent workmanship, extraordinary service, and have surrounded themselves with the best electricians in the industry. It's one of the company's core values to support the community, and they're proud to be able to enrich the lives of children and help provide the tools needed to succeed. Visit Squires Electric Incorporated, a proud sponsor.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. What a great one we got in store here. As the Generals are playing for much more than senior night as well as homecoming, they'll have an opportunity to bring home another banner in the PIL, but that only starts with the leadership of these great seniors who have made this opportunity happen. And as I throw out the broadcast here, Mitch, we'll highlight our seniors here. Our first senior I want to recognize is Garrett Millbrook, the punter here, who's been a wonderful addition to the program here, not only on the football field, but also in the classroom. Luke McCullough, Mitch, your guy, does it all on both sides of the field, not offensively, not only defensively, but also special teams-wise. He's going to be a huge piece to the success of this program going forward in the season, but also, you know, a loss for the program once he goes on to graduate.
Yeah, he's going to have an excellent next year, whatever he decides to do. As you mentioned, he's on the special teams here. I'm looking at him. He's on the kickoff return, so he's going to get an opportunity right away here to maybe make an impact in this game, and we're going to get the kickoff here right away.
So we are just about underway here as the Lightning of Franklin will kick off here as we're excited to kick this one off, and we are underway. And the Generals will take this one at their own 30-yard line. And this time it is Jamison Price, and he will
first down.
Pick up enough to get all the way down to the 36-yard line, and that's where the Generals will take over. And quarterback Logan Going, looking to add to his wonderful season that he has had here. Does everything not only with his arm, but with his feet, and then with his leadership as well.
Yeah, and he's just had a special year all year long, really. He's just had a great time with the RPOs. He's throwing the ball really well. He's meeting Burchart down the field, but he's also doing a lot of run pass, and he's running the ball well.
Logan on first down, and he completes it to no other than Luke McCullough, right to the 49-yard line, and we just featured him, the senior. You know, he can do everything, and he has really been that backbone of this football team this year, and it's not coincidence that's the first guy he hits to start the football game.
Yeah, get that comfortability going. You know, get the first snap in there. You know, it is homecoming. You just had senior night. Kind of the festivities are rolling. Get the momentum going. That's an excellent play.
On first down, look in, and this one is almost intercepted there as Logan dodged the bullet as Kimi Ryan Taltrin, the junior, comes up and almost snatches that one away. The Lightning come into this season 1-2 in conference, 1-6 overall. Their one win this year came against Madison, 43-20. They're coached by Wes Warren. For many of you, that may be a familiar name, is where he had a lot of success at Lincoln High School, where he compiled a 28-6 record. On second down, he will give it to McCullough. And he will fall forward all the way to the middle line. Wes Warren had prior stops at Portland State, Montana State Western, and is a graduate of Washington. So in the pregame show, Mitch, we had an opportunity to hear from head coach John Beck, and he talked about just how disciplined Franklin is and the wonderful work that Wes does to make sure that his team is focused and always ready to go.
Yeah, well, we're going to see the play here.
On third down, as Logan will fake, steps up, now's got pressure, penalty flag flies, and he will hit again Luke McCullough. That will be enough for the first down, but we will check the penalty flag here.
There's about 3 blockers all in the same vicinity there, and it looks like one of them had an illegal block, a hold. It's going to drive it back about 10 yards. Repeat third down. So it really kind of hurts to see that. Right off a completion there, and Logan's had a great start to this bowl game, completing a few passes and getting his arm going, and a little bit of the opposite of what I thought we were going to do here this evening, and that was run the ball. But it can work both ways. If you open up the pass option, it keeps your free safeties, it keeps your linebackers all on their heels, and that really will push them back a few yards, and that's when you start running the ball or maybe a run-pass option.
RPO is that offense that we continue to see across the country, and you can argue it started right here in the state of Oregon. As going on third and a long way, is going to throw this one way downfield. Got a man, and this one is complete. And he's still on his feet, and into the end zone it goes. Touchdown, Generals.
Man, did he throw that ball about 45 yards in the air, and just an absolute bullet right to Jamison Price, and comes down with it, goes up, gets the high point of the ball, breaks a tackle, and gets into the end zone for 6 points. What a play. What a connection.
So last week, the Generals got on the board early, and in this game, they get on the board early as well, as Logan Going continues his dominance this year to get 6 points on the board for the Generals. And I was so far up here, Mitch, I couldn't see who it was.
Yeah, it was Jamison Price at number 2 there, I believe, and it was a great catch, but better yet, he broke the tackle there. He was just about down and broke the tackle and was able to escape and go another about 15, 17 yards after the catch and get into the end zone there pretty freely.
So on the first series, the Generals take advantage of it. 7-0, don't go anywhere.
Fans, are you in the market for a new home? Maybe you're looking to downsize. Maybe you're looking to increase your square footage. But look no further than to Tammy Going of Windermere Realtors, a parent of one of our wonderful athletes and sponsor that's been serving Northeast Portland for many years. She's an advocate for our students and student athletes and generously gives her time and energy to those in need. Friends of Grant Football is grateful for community members that value the experience of sports and education in the high school process. If you're in the need of a real estate agent, you would be lucky to have Tammy Going represent you through Windermere Realtors.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. Logan Going gets his squad started as he gets his team into the end zone for the first time. And the Generals with an early lead, 7-0. And Mitch, boy, that's a great way to start. They started off fast last week against Madison. Now they're starting off fast against Franklin.
Yeah, it's just a great way to start a football game. I was thinking we were going to get the running game going as we like to do there, but eat my own words a little bit here as John Beck is coming out, throwing the ball in the air, trusting this guy Logan a lot. Allowing him to really throw the ball downfield. They're not just little pitch and catches, little over the top, little flare routes, drag routes. These are real routes. These are real in-depth, down the field routes where you have to make a decision of where your defender is. Is he inside? Then you got to run outside, and Logan's got to be there to see that. And that takes a lot of practice, and that's kind of what you've seen throughout the year at this point in the season here.
On first down here, the Lightning scampering their way all the way down to the 25-yard line as Jake Rowe, the 5'11 senior, the gunslinger back there, doing a great job as he finds his open man.
Looks like Jackson Montfort Montfort on the tackle there and was able to save a touchdown. It could have been real ugly there if he wasn't able to make that tackle to save the touchdown.
So on first down here, as the Lightning looking for their second win of the season, as Rowe will give it off to his big man. No, pitch it to the far side to Hernando, and he'll scamper his way all the way out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I couldn't see who made the tackle out there, but it was an excellent job of staying home, and it was able to actually watch how he stays home here, and he really doesn't fall for the pitch at all, and he keeps him. So the important thing in there is he keeps him from going outside. He pushes him back into where the linebackers are waiting for him.
So on second and about 11 here, after the great defensive stand there by the Generals, who have some names that we're very familiar with, are in the top 10 for tackles and sacks. We'll talk a little about that later. As Rowe on second down will keep this one himself, and he will pick up a couple yards there.
Lucky to keep that one there. It's a high snap, and he barely held on to it as he almost bobbled it and gained control of it and was able to scamper for about 5 yards there on second down. We're going to bring up third down here. Again, I was unable to see who made the tackle there. I had a hard time seeing up here. It looks like it might have been Brennett. Oh.
On third down, and he'll give it off to the big fella up the middle, and he is met by a whole party of Generals here. There's a lot of hats on that ball there. And I don't believe it'll be enough for the first down, but it'll be short to bring up a 4th down and 2 here for
fourth down,
the Lightning.
I'd like to see the umpires there if they could blow that whistle a little earlier. It seems you get a lot of cleats being people getting stepped on there, and just a lot of high vulnerability there for some injury. I just like to see him blow that dead. He wasn't really going anywhere, kind of stagnant there, and just blow it dead and move on to the next play.
So the first 4th down attempt for either team, and the Lightning are knocking on the door. Rowe will keep it himself, and I don't know if he got it, Mitch. I don't know if he got it there.
He took it so fast it almost looked like he had fumbled the football, but he didn't. And he just kind of took it and went real quick with it and went up and hit the center and said, let's do this real quick, and was unable to get it. Looks like it is going to be unsuccessful. It's going to be a turnover on downs there for Franklin. Unfortunate for those guys, but great defensive stand by Grant Generals here. And that's just a good way to get that offense back on the field, a little fired up here. See if they can continue throwing down the field. A lot of times you'll see a lot of coaches try to strike right here, and kind of while they have an opportunity, they'll try to throw down the field a little bit. But, you kind of set yourself up for perhaps maybe a screen pass here, and nothing too terribly long down the field as they've kind of exposed that on the first drive.
So after the stand there by the Generals, as Jason Pete will take the handoff from Logan,
second down,
and he'll pick up maybe a yard. And I would be remiss if we didn't continue to talk about that stifling defense that we have seen all year. They've only allowed, on average, 18 points on the season. And they have 2 players in the top 10, Jackson Montfort as well as Brennick Beck, who are in the top 10 for total tackles on the season. And you can certainly see when you're the 5th-ranked team in the state for points allowed, I certainly anticipate to see a couple names in the top 10 on the defensive side.
Gosh, and talk about dynamic players, man. Those guys make an impact every single week. They're out there every week for the most part, and what they do is they motivate their teammates around them, and they all play better that way. And that's just a real special player there when they're vocal and they can go out there and actually do what they're praising.
2nd down and 6 here as the Generals score on their opening possession. As the Lightning went for it on 4th down in general territory, but unable to capitalize. And on 2nd down here, as will give it off.
Pete, the ball
and he will give it to Jason Pete. And he will be close to the first down marker.
Third down.
And I don't believe it's enough, Mitch, and that will bring up 3rd down and 1.
Well, those look like they're moving the chains, so those look like the umpires did give them the first down on that.
Correction, first down, Generals.
Well, I misspoke there, Mitch. The first time in my life I've ever misspoke.
I was about to say, I don't normally hear you misspeak there.
First down and 10 here for the Generals. As the family and friends and the marching band is out here as Luke is in motion. Drops back, going's got a man wide open. This is Pete. Pete scampers and slips down all the way to the 45-yard line. He's the Leatherman, and he shows it again right there.
The Leatherman comes back. Man, he's had such a huge year. He's just doing an excellent job running routes. And really, that wasn't the route that he was supposed to run. He just saw a big void in the field and went right by the 50-yard line there and ended up making the huge catch there for a huge gain.
So he continues to not only do it on the offensive side of the ball, but also on the defensive side of the ball, Mitch. He's 8th in the state with 10 sacks on the year. So certainly, as we say Leatherman, we're not exaggerating. He can certainly do it all.
Right. It looks like Coach Beck is mixing up the snap count here and
Penalty flag on the field.
got him on the first go and accidentally did a little false start there. I wasn't able to catch a number, but it was a false start on Grant.
So here on senior night, and it is a false start on the young men in blue shells.
Penalty against Grant for a false start.
As Franklin High School, Mitch, we were there not too long ago. We
Right.
called a game there when Roosevelt took on Grant there at a neutral site.
Right.
And now Franklin is here as they're just right down the road from us here as Logan will give it off on 2nd down.
That was Luke that was the ball carrier there.
The ball carrier.
Nope, looks like Jay Sean.
For Grant. Isaiah Rickert, the tackle for Franklin.
Having a hard time seeing up here right now. I got to
Ball at the
make sure I get who's who.
Mitch, as young as you look, you could be on that senior night class. As Logan gives it off, bobble, left-hand side. This is Jay Sean, and he muscles his way forward all the way down to the 40-yard line. And he won't be enough for the first down, but that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 as a penalty flag will fly.
Yeah, it looks like there was just a little bit extracurricular going on there on the sideline. Coach Beck right in the middle of everything. It looks like he might have tamed his own guys there. That could be on Franklin as an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, it will be an unsportsmanlike, as Mitch alluded to, so that will
penalty flag on
bring up a
foul on the Lightning.
First down here for the Generals, and certainly not the smartest thing to do if you're the Lightning, as you've already found yourself down 7-0, and the Generals are starting to knock on the door once again. And we've talked about penalties this entire year, Mitch, on both sides for both teams throughout the year. And boy, penalties can sure solid drive. It can also keep teams in football games.
Yeah. It's just when you're facing a deficit already, real early, 7-0, you just can't face any silly mistakes like that. And you were drawing offsides on a second down, on a second snap there earlier in this drive for one penalty, another penalty coming there for something verbal that was said. There was no physical altercation or anything. It was definitely verbal on the Franklin side. And faced him 15 yards there, and your defense is actually playing pretty well this entire drive. You hate to see shoot yourself in the foot there.
So on 2nd and 8 here,
for Grant, ball on the 24-yard line.
Looking to get their 13th point of the game with 4:10 to go here in the first. As Peter will go in motion. Handoff inside to the speedster. This is Jay Sean. He's to the end zone. Touchdown, Generals. 13th point on the board. And they are a kick away from making it 14. So touchdown, Jay Sean.
Jay Sean with a huge run, man. He went up when he gets going, he gets about 5 yards up the field. You're not going to be able to touch him. what he does is he does such a good job of getting his shoulders down over his tippy toes. There is what I like to call it. Shoulders down, and he gets some momentum going right up the field, and he can motor way ahead of everybody, and just does an excellent job of getting into the end zone there.
So as the Generals get their 13th point of the game, we had an official out there, took a bit of a hit there. Got to get your head on a swivel out there, Stripes, but tough guy out there. But in any event, the Generals got their 13th point of the game, and boy, how many times have we talked about that name all year, Jay-Sean? Boy, when he gets out in the open, boy, that's a tough dude to bring down.
Yeah, you better have some long arms and some speed to catch up with that guy, because you're just going to have a hard time, even when you hit him. He's not going to go down very easy. He's such a good guy to absorb contact, and you didn't hardly even get any hands on him there, as we saw the replay, and just does an excellent job of getting up the field and making people miss.
Making people miss. That's what he has done all day long. There's no clearance sale when it comes to Jamison Price. It's always full retail.
That's a hefty MSRP. Tell you what.
Marco Vlasky on for
so the senior Vlasky, who has been so dominant and so perfect this year with his PATs, will come out to try to make it the 14th point of the game and give the Generals the lead.
Such an underrated aspect of the football game. Just to be able to rely on somebody like that. He's a senior. He's been doing it a few years. And he comes in, you can just rely on him. There's not a whole lot of pressure. It's just a PAT, but still, those are, you're the focal point out there. It can really easy that pressure can get to your head there, and you can miss PATs, field goals, whatever it might be there.
So after the 14th point of the game, the Generals on top. Don't go anywhere.
Hi fans, Brian and Mitch here for Moon and Sixpence. After every broadcast, Mitch and I are fired up, generally after a huge General victory, but we also find ourselves a little bit hungry. And where do we turn? We turn to Moon and Sixpence, as Mike and Mary Marshall are parents of one of our great top senior players and proud owners of the Moon and Sixpence. They generously offer up their establishment every year to help Friends of Grant football fundraise, provide team dinners, and host coaches' meetings. The Grant community is very lucky to have this area favorite that supports the neighborhood, players, and families.
$14-0. It's been all Generals. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, 14 points. Certainly the start, if you're head coach John Beck, that you certainly anticipate. I wouldn't say that it's nothing shocking, but when you got so many different weapons out there on the field, and when Jay-Sean gets to the center of the field, boy, that's difficult to bring him down.
It's nice to have all those weapons, and better yet, it's nice to have Logan Goings back there just throwing the ball wherever he wants. It doesn't look like he's out there the turkey bowl, it looks like he's playing a little backyard football on Thanksgiving. He's just throwing the ball wherever he would like, and nobody's really there to stop him at this point. There's not a lot of pressure. Franklin wants to get back in the ball game. They've got to learn how to get pressure on a Logan. It's something they haven't been able to do successfully this evening, and at this point we don't really see that changing, as Grant is a pretty large powerhouse here in this football game anyways.
So is Rowe on first down looking, and he finds his man down the middle. That's Ian Danignon, the 5'10" senior.
That was a nice catch there. He had to turn around a little bit and ended up making the snag. It was a nice little pitch and catch there.
Well, we certainly can see that Mr. Rowe, the football spinner, the quarterback, is not afraid to step up into that pocket and fire that down the field there, as we saw a great throw there. First down and 10 here for the Lightning. As we had mentioned before, the Franklin High School not too far down the road from here. It's almost a bit of a home game for these guys. On first down, swing pass near side, Isaiah Ricard. And he breaks one tackle, and he'll fall forward all the way to the 41-yard line. And so the Lightning have really been moving the football quite nicely, other than their inability to convert on that fourth down the possession ago.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they've certainly played what I would consider a pretty good football game on offense.
So far, you got to get these penalties kind of shaped up here, as we've been seeing throughout the ball game, and see if they can continue throwing the receivers open. As we know what kind of defense Grant's going to roll out there each and every week, but if he wants to have a good finish off this drive, let's see if he puts the ball in the air.
On first down, he will pitch it. Ball on the turf. Picked up, and the Generals pounce on it, and they recover. So as the Lightning were moving the ball down the field, they take full advantage, and the Generals will get the football back.
Boy, that was bad timing for our talk there.
First down, Generals.
Probably should have kept it on the offense there for Jake Rowe. He probably should have kept that football and just gone up the field instead of he tried to pitch it back, as we saw in the replay there. Excellent job with the replay, but probably should have kept that one, kept his head down, kept the possession.
So after the first turnover of the game here, the Generals looking to take full advantage, as this has really been the storyline for the year, scoring early. Logan on first down's got a man, caught on the near side. This is Luke, breaks one tackle, touchdown, Generals.
I think they've got to figure out a way to get some pressure on Logan. He's just back there just doing whatever he would like. He just kind of he's playing quarterback after a 5-step drop. He just kind of sits there and waits for people to get open. They've got to figure out, a blitz package of some sort, or make a substitution on the defensive line and be able to get some pressure on those guys there. This could be a very long game for the Franklin Lightning.
So, as you said, Mitch, it could be a long night, but Coach Beck, I really think, doesn't care if it's a long night or a short night. All that matters is you get that number on the left-hand side of the win-loss column. And, boy, thus far, they certainly look like a football team that's tough to beat.
He wants to put these guys away real early, maybe perhaps get some seniors that don't see a lot of playing time into the ball game, and you got to respect that a little bit here. Look at Luke coming in. As we saw the pocket knife. He's coming in as the long snapper.
Got the pocket knife and the Leatherman. They can do it all. Swinging gate, going for two and unable to capitalize. That's Coach Beck trying to throw a different wrinkle in there. But in any event, the Generals on top, 20-0. Don't go anywhere. We will be back. Don't go anywhere.
It's all around us. It's the ground upon which we stand. The well-worn paths, and the ones that haven't been forged. It's our history, and our what lies ahead. It's ours to nurture and to protect. We're a force for community and for country. We have the skills to define our future and our nation's future.
Welcome back to the broadcast here, 20-0. Generals with the commanding lead. Mitch Buchheit, Brian Gregg, Brody Matthews, the wizard, the Harry Potter of the broadcast, does it all. As Mitch alluded to, trying to get some seniors an opportunity to play, and they continue to play like this, they're going to get a lot of playing time for some of those players that maybe don't get to see the football field as much as they would like, but nothing would be more special than for those seniors as well as those underclassmen to have an opportunity to play. Mitch, last week, you and I were unable to call this game as we welcomed Kaylee and Mark in Holy Matrimony, but to bring you up to speed, Generals certainly took care of business last week, 79-6, and only threw the football twice.
Well, 79-6. That's a big-time ball game right there. It's a real white knuckler, and man, no, that's a now awesome awesome defeat, really, for those guys. 79 points, at any level. That's really something there. It's really a special team that they've got put together here, and maybe perhaps another opportunity.
On first down, ball on the turf, and they're still diving for it. I don't know if the Generals came up with it, and they did. So 2 series, 2 possessions, 2 turnovers, 2 recoveries for the Generals.
What an excellent job there. I think he watched the Seahawks play a few times. Watch this and watch his arm come up and punch that ball out. And, man, he makes the tackle, but as he's making the tackle, he makes an upward punching motion like you see Earl Thomas do in the old Seahawk days. And those guys, even though he's with Baltimore now, he still does it. He does it at an effective rate, and you saw it there on the field. It trickles all the way down to high school. These guys are making tackles and making a punching motion at the same time.
So the Generals certainly have not been shy of the end zone here in the first quarters. We still got 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, and they are knocking on the door once again, as we know that penalties can certainly stifle a drive. As Logan will get it off to his speedster, far hand side, makes one man miss into the end zone is Jay-Sean. But there is a penalty flag once again.
Looks like he might have just got a hold there. He just got round. He just gets his hand outside the shoulder pad and makes a hold. Dang it.
So the call will be holding, as Mitch alluded to. So take the 6 off the board. Take the second touchdown away for Jay-Sean. But, boy, you like to see that. I know that certainly the penalty will negate the touchdown, but boy, when you get out in open space there, that is a very difficult thing for a defender to bring down.
Yeah, absolutely. And what he does is he does a little shake and bake. He goes out, in, out, and he goes right around the guy. So he does a great job of freezing that guy in his tracks with a couple stutter steps and just gets right around him. It shows some real true athleticism there on that last run.
Shake and bake, Ricky Bobby.
Yes, sir.
Going to the gun, one at the top, one at the bottom. And he will fake, keeping himself. Looking for a man, throws downfield, and this one is caught. And it will be complete.
Logan going, such a special player. He rolls out to the right there, which is his dominant side, but he's able to keep his eyes down the field. There's a defender in his face, but he's able to go look right around him, make one little pump fake, freeze that guy, and he's able to get right out to the outside there and make a completion. Not sure how far it was, but about 20-yard completion, though.
So first down, goal to go. The Generals knocking on the door. Looking for their 26th point of the game on senior night and homecoming. On first down, Logan fakes it, keeps himself, sidesteps his way close to the goal line. And he will pick up about 8 yards, and so that'll bring up a second and about a half of a football.
Yeah, he does a pretty good job of almost getting to the end zone there. He falls forward like you're supposed to do, like they teach you young. Fall forward as you're going down, get a couple extra yards. Just not quite there to the end zone, just a little short.
So, second and goal for the Generals. And he will give it off to Jay-Sean. And he will get back to the initial line of scrimmage, so that'll bring up a third down and goal, Mitch.
Yeah, the linebackers for Franklin did a great job of stepping up into the box. They're playing some goal line defense with a couple of guys on the outside, trying to face up on the receivers. And did a great job there staying home. Linebacker hit the gap and was able to make the tackle.
So as that clock will go to 40 seconds. And that ball on about the foot line. On 3rd and inches. Leatherman in motion. Zahari gives it off inside. Read option. Touchdown. Generals. 26 on the board.
Jay-Sean Pete takes it in.
Jay-Sean Pete with a nice little 1-foot touchdown there, as we said. And watch how he hits the gap here. He just picks up speed, keeps his head down, shoulders out front, does a great job. Hands the football right to the referee like you're supposed to.
So the Generals looking to add their 27th point of the game. And I'd consider this a great start. And a great start it is. As the snap, the hold, the kick is up, looks good, and it is good. So the Generals on top by 27. We'll take a timeout. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, Grant General fans. These broadcasts would not be possible without the wonderful support of our great local companies. One company in particular that I want to recognize is Squires Electric Incorporated, which was founded in 1998. Through 20 years of dedication, Squires has provided excellent workmanship, extraordinary service, and have surrounded themselves with the best electricians in the industry. It's one of the company's core values to support the community, and they're proud to be able to enrich the lives of children and help provide the tools needed to succeed. Visit Squires Electric Incorporated, a proud sponsor.
27-0 after the Jay-Sean touchdown. Let's watch it one more time, Mitch. So on third down here, Logan gives it off, sidesteps, and he marches in the end zone for the second time in this game.
Yeah, that's a touchdown there that really should go to the offensive line. They did a great job pushing, making that hole large enough for Jay-Sean to get through, no problem.
So the kick will be brought out.
Wow, it's getting a little feisty out there.
With 16 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Feels like it's been a lot longer because it seems like the Generals have been out on that football field quite a bit. But when you're the opposition and you put the ball on the turf twice and you don't come up with it, that certainly makes things a bit challenging.
Yeah, and each time they drove down the field. The first drive is about 30 yards down the field. The second drive about 40 yards down the field before making a silly mistake and just throwing the first turnover was a throw to nobody, and the second one was a run where, had the opportunity to maybe pick up some chunk yardage there and ended up getting a turnover there by a great defensive play.
On first down, ball on the turf again, kicked around, and the Generals come up with it again. So 3 possessions, 3 balls on the turf, 3 General recoveries. My goodness, that ball keeps squirting its way out.
They're still running off the field at least. They got some spirit left in them somehow. I don't know how 3 times in a row you get kicked while you're down a little bit right now, but let's see what John Beck does. I would imagine he's got to kind of take his foot off the gas a little bit here and see what he can do, a little run play and maybe give some secondary guys some love here in the first quarter. We're up 27-0, and we're going to be having a long football game here at this rate.
So 3 turnovers for the Lightning. The Generals going to try to score before the end of the first quarter as Logan will roll out. Penalty flag. Got a man. Touchdown. Back of the end zone, but a penalty flag will fly. So I anticipate that this touchdown will come off the board as it is a hold with 1 second remaining on the clock.
Complete to Quinn Gerald for a touchdown, but the flag is a holding penalty against the Generals.
So that will negate the 5th touchdown of the football game. But certainly a good throw and a good catch there.
Remaining first down for Grant.
So with 1 second remaining here, the Generals will either put the ball in the end zone here and add an additional touchdown, or this will be the final play of the first quarter, and we'll flip sides here. And the Generals will look to march the football into the other end zone. With 1 tick remaining, 3 to the bottom, going in the gun. And he will swing past near side. This is Quinnen. Quinnen breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, and scampers his way all the way down to the 17-yard line. And that is where the Generals will take over to start the second quarter.
The Grant Generals 27.
Fans, this week the Grant community lost a young man, Owen Klinger. Our hearts and prayers go out to the family Owen was 19.
Fans, you all know that giving back to your community can be one of the most gratifying things one can feel. But one person in particular is Kenneth Acker, former Grant alum athlete and NFL player for the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Kenneth Acker founded the Ackrite Foundation as he brought his generosity to Friends of Grant Football as a gold-level sponsor this year, as he helps our players with the important equipment they need to be safe and effective. The Ackrite Foundation also sponsored the first Grant-hosted 7-on-7 tournament this year. Kenneth Acker and the Ackrite Foundation has been an incredible example to our players of what can be accomplished through hard work in sports and education. Big thank you to the Ackrite Foundation and the generosity of Kenneth Acker, Grant alum.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. It's a start, the second quarter. As Logan will roll out, get the ball to the middle of the field, and he'll dive forward all the way to the 11-yard line, and he'll be close to the first down marker.
What an athlete. Man, he gets out there, and I tell you what, he's just fun to watch. I just have a good time watching this guy. He gets past the line of scrimmage there, and he's looking. He's still, for some reason, he's still looking to throw. I don't know why. He eventually did put his head down there and almost got the first down, about a half a yard short there on third down now, on a half a yard. See if you just give the ball to him again, see if he'll fall forward and get a first down.
Third down and goal. As he'll give it off inside. This is Jamison Price. He'll get all the way down to the goal line. No signal yet, but I anticipate that that'll bring it a first and goal, and it is a touchdown. So touchdown, Generals, as they got their fifth touchdown of the game to make it 33-0. So 33-0. Generals with a commanding lead. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, looks good, and it is good to make it 34-0. It's been all Generals, and Coach Beck, the visor, is all smiles. Speaking of smiles, we'll recognize Parkside Orthodontics. Don't go anywhere.
Hi fans, did you know that 1 in 3 people notice somebody's smile right when they meet for the first time? Turn to Parkside Orthodontics if you're not confident in your smile. Dr. Rebecca Cooperstein, a board-certified orthodontist in Portland, Oregon, and a neighborhood favorite for braces. Dr. Cooperstein is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontic treatment for all ages in a caring, comfortable environment. Parkside Orthodontics is a state-of-the-art digital office with advanced technology to provide superior results. They also provide a convenient finance option that requires no additional down payment and offers lower monthly payments. If you want to turn that frown up,
34-0. That's an indicator of a football team that came out here ready to play. And how could you not play? It's homecoming. Tomorrow you got the homecoming dance. Bust out the shirt and tie. Make sure Dad ties the tie for you. But those are some happy football players out there right now, and certainly they have all the reason to, Mitch.
God, wasn't that fun back in the day? Forget how to tie a tie and have to have somebody else do it for you and take it off and then put it on. You know, nowadays they got like the zipper ties and everything. It comes pre-made for you. Had a little clip-on, I think, at one point.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You got to go buy the corsages and the boutonnieres.
Gosh. You got to time it out correctly, too, so it's not, half dead when you give it to her. Made that mistake a few times.
So, great crowd out here. Certainly the Friends of Grant Football do a phenomenal job As Rowe on first down drops back, ball on the turf again, and it is out, and it looks as though the Generals have recovered for the 4th turnover of the football game.
Wow. You know, at this point, you might pull your guys aside and just tell them, you know, if we can get the rest of the game with no more turnovers, we'll call it a victory. Because you just handing these guys the ball game. They're hardly trying. They're out there playing defense, and that's about it. They're just making tackles, and they're just kind of spewing up the ball, and it's not really fun to watch even. You almost feel for these guys out here just a little bit, and hopefully this does open up the doors here for a few extra guys that don't necessarily get to see the field very much and get some playing time, and that's always fun to see. And so we're going to see what happens here on first down and 10 and see if the Grant Generals decide to throw the ball or run the ball.
On first down, going, has pressure, steps up, got a man, middle of the field, down to the 2-yard line. And who is it? My man. My man.
Oh, man.
Peter Zahari, the Leatherman, can do it all, and he gets it done there.
Man, PZ does it again. I'll tell you what, he is he's a guy that just he plays that tight end position, that slot back. He does it so well. He gets down the field, and he had to actually out-jump a guy on that one there. I don't know if we're able to get the replay or not, but he was able to kind of out-hop a guy, and a nice play by Logan Goings to get the ball down the field, as we've seen all game here throughout the first quarter, the start of the second now, and just an excellent job here by the Grant Generals.
So we'll have trying to bring you all the great highlights here is Gino Zahari, the engineer and the producer, the man behind the scenes making this all happen.
Gino, man, he does a great job. He keeps everybody in line. He keeps us in line, I can tell you that.
Boy, is that the truth.
The guy really does an excellent job. Professional to work with, too. Just an excellent human.
Well, we should probably start calling it the Geno Sports Network before we know it.
I think so. We'll have to change up the abbreviations or nothing.
So after the Leatherman, it was funny. We had a chance. Peter asked his father. He said he wouldn't watch the broadcast. We'd called him the Leatherman. And he had asked his dad, "Dad, what's a Leatherman?"
No. Oh, gosh.
On first and goal, Logan drops back, looks, throws, caught,
what a
touchdown.
Bullet. We had the perfect vantage point for that throw or what? What a bullet. He puts it right on the money. The guy turns around. It's a timing route. He turns around. The ball's right on him, right in the numbers. And Logan just puts an absolute spiral on the ball. And just look at that timing route right there. Just an excellent pitch and catch.
Pitch and catch. And that'll be the 40th point of the game here for the Generals. And we're starting to see a game very familiar and similar to last week. As Marco Vlasky, the senior. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, looks good. And it is good to make it 41 points. Throw out the record books. 10:25 to go here in the second quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching live coverage right here on the Grant Sports Network.
Hi fans, Brian and Mitch here for Blind Onion Pizza and Pub, a neighborhood favorite pizza joint close to Grant and offering great honest pizza, sandwiches, salads, and their craft beers. The Blind Onion offers a casual, nostalgic, fun atmosphere and has a strong focus on delicious pizza, making it a popular hangout that fits perfectly in the community. Check out the delicious house special pizzas and oven-baked sandwiches. And don't forget about their wonderful appetizers and excellent salads with bargain prices on microbrews and special pizza creations. The Blind Onion, located at 3345 Northeast Broadway Street, right here in Portland. Either after the game or anytime. Blind Onion.
41-0. In case you're just joining us,
what a boot.
The Lightning have put the football on the turf 4 times, and the Generals have been right there to pounce on the football 4 times. And Mitch, I'm no John Madden, but I certainly do know that when you're the opposition and you're trying to win a football game, putting the ball on the turf 4 times and losing it makes things quite difficult.
Yeah, and usually the team there that scores the most points wins the ball game, and in this particular instance, you know, it's a mind-blowing fact, but putting the ball on the ground there and turning the ball over is not going to give yourself an opportunity to put points on the scoreboard, and the other team an opportunity to put points on the scoreboard.
And on first down, the Generals almost had their 5th.
So you got it. That's a great example right there. Just throwing the ball in the air. It's unfortunate. You have to give yourself a better chance just to even survive this football game at this point. You know, you can't just give up. So you have to go out there and play, and you either take the sack there or you simply throw it at the guy's feet. Unfortunately, they may be having a quarterback with not a lot of experience back there. But you got to understand the situation, understand where your team is at, and put yourself in a better position there to succeed.
2nd down and 10. As Rowe will give it off to the big fella up the middle here.
Well, the guy was like both of us put together, I think.
And that tackle made by the one and only. Take one guess there.
Let's see, probably what?
Caden Seagal.
Oh.
We've said that name a few times.
Yeah, a few times.
So
the great last name.
Well, speaking of defense, do you want to take a guess on who leads or is 3rd in the state for interceptions with 4? Do you want to take a guess?
Oh, man. Take a guess. Let's see. My guy out on the ends there, Alex Gray, he does an excellent job. He's got to be up in the
man.
Yeah,
yes,
I knew it.
Alex Gray. Alex Gray, 3rd in the state.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Alex Gray, the man on the edges, 3rd in the state with 4 interceptions this year. And so the punt team will come out onto the field for the first time in this game. And, you know, Mitch, you would probably assume if you joined the broadcast late, you looked at the score, that this would not be the first time Franklin has punted. However, turnovers has been the storyline, unfortunately, for the Lightning in this football game.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting opportunity here as he gets the ball in the air, and it's going to roll out of bounds there right at about the 35-yard line. It's going to give the Grant Generals the ball on their own 35. So a great opportunity here to get more points on the board. We'll see what Coach Beck wants to do. I don't know if exactly he's going to be looking to extend this lead any further than he needs to at this point there. It's a little bit of gamesmanship and kind of show your opponent a little tip of the cap there for showing up, trying hard. They got some big guys out there on defense, so you can't at the same time. You're playing the game. You're playing the guys that are out in front of you. You're playing the game here at hand. So you have to go out there and when you start trying your hardest is when you kind of come up with freak injuries, and you might have a pulled muscle or not quite run a route as hard, and something could happen there. So you want to make sure you stay focused and keep playing hard.
On first down, Logan giving off to the speedster. And he will be pushed out of bounds, and he will pick up about a yard as Darius Pendergraph, a name that we said a little bit against Jefferson, Mitch.
Yeah.
Has his first touch of the game, and he picks up about a yard.
Yeah, had a great game there against Jefferson, and a couple of dynamic plays. Going to get a lot of opportunity here, a lot of run this game.
So on second down, Logan rolls out, steps up, looking for his man downfield, and this one is off the fingertips, as that one was intended for Luke Borchardt, but he was unable to retrieve that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 9.
I think they call that a drop, and you can tell it's a drop. You never know if it's a drop or if it's just an errant throw, but that was a drop based off of Borchardt's body language. He came up, looked at his hands, knew he should have had it, but he's going to get another opportunity. He's got lots of them.
Fans, I want to say thank you to Beaumont Florist before the game. We recognized the wonderful seniors, and they were so gracious to donate the flowers that were given to the mothers. So thank you so much to Beaumont Florist and the wonderful contribution to this football team here. So thank you so much to them. As a false start will be committed against the Generals. And really, Mitch, this has been somewhat of a penalty-free game. They did have that one penalty that negated the touchdown in the first quarter, but certainly we have unfortunately called some of the games throughout the year where penalties was the Achilles heel for the Generals, but certainly this week it's a tale of a different story.
Yeah, there's been a few games where they've had double-digit penalties, which is obviously something that they've worked on throughout the season as they've improved. The number of penalties has gone down significantly as the season has progressed, and they just are doing an excellent job again here tonight about giving them an opportunity here to succeed by not penalizing themselves.
So on the 3rd down and long, when the Lightning have got the Generals on their heels, it looks as though that they will be penalized with a pass interference, and that's what it will be.
First down, Grant.
That being an automatic first down, I think they were just about going to get the yards to gain anyways, just with 15. I think it was 3rd and 15, and that'd be a 15-yard penalty. And I'm not very good at math, but 15, I think that's a first down.
Yeah, you can see here, Mitch, that he is all down there, but unfortunately the Lightning were just a little bit too thunderish there, and they knock him down, and that'll be an automatic first down for the Generals.
20-yard line.
Lightning trying to strike there, and they're going to be having a lot of opportunities. As Beck is still throwing the ball down the field here. I love to see that.
On first down.
Going pass is complete.
And that one will be completed to Darius Pendergraft as he has his second reception of the football game, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 here for the Generals. As really, Mitch, is it safe to say it's been all Generals?
Generally so, I'd say. It was really from the get-go here, and they just do a great job of really piling on that momentum when they got started there. Got to give credit to that defense, though, right? We've been giving them credit all night. They've been doing what they've been doing all season long, and it hasn't stopped here tonight as they got 4 turnovers in a quarter and a half here.
Jamison Price on the carry for Grant. And that will move the chains for a first down, Grant.
And that'll be another first down. As the Generals doing a great job running that football. And the Generals have another first down and goal to go.
First and goal.
And we haven't even played one half of football, and it's pretty much been all Generals since the beginning.
Yeah, but they've been pretty dominant here thus far and really getting close to scoring the football again here with Logan Goings, and touchdown with a penalty flag here.
As Mitch alluded to, it keeps this one himself. Unfortunately, there's a yellow hanky that either was thrown or fell out of the pocket of the zebra there, but I don't think it fell out of the pocket, and it'll be a hold against the Generals. So the second penalty of the game, Mitch, that has been 6 points, will now be erased from the board here because of those pesky holding penalties.
Yeah, that's 2 vital holds here that's been called by the offense, or on the offense, I should say, and it's just something that, regardless of how far ahead in the ball game you are, Coach Beck has got to be very irritated with those 2 silly penalties when it's such a wide open hole there. There's really no need just to hold those guys. Just hit them once, hit them twice, let them go, and that guy's going to outrun them more times than not here, Logan Going. He's going to outrun a lot of defensive guys.
On first down, Going, and he will be hit and dropped in the backfield there. Has a good defensive stand there by the big fella back there for Mipham Jampa, the 6-foot sophomore. Mipham Jampa coming up from his defensive end position to bring down Going.
I spoke a little too soon again. I've fallen victim to that a few times here this evening, speaking too soon. He couldn't outrun 88 down there as he got his hands on him, took him down to the turf, and did a great job of creating that sack there and making it a long third down here for the Grant Generals.
So second down.
Second down, excuse me.
Well, second and goal. However, second and goal from the 24-yard line is going. Drops back. Got a man, and he missed him there as he was looking for Max Von Arx, his 6'3 sophomore, tight end streaking down the middle there, but just underthrew him there.
Yeah, that's he's 6'3". You can't throw it at his shoes. He's not going to be able to get down there and catch that ball. So he's got to, make the adjustment there. And one errant throw is not going to kill you if you're Logan going. So just kind of move forward here and look at the next play. And you're going to get opportunities as Beck is proven tonight that he's not going to be running the football. He's going to be throwing the football.
On third down, going back of the end zone, looking for Pendergraph, and this one is incomplete. And the Lightning hold. So after 5 consecutive possessions and 5 touchdowns, the Lightning hold him here. And I don't know if head coach John Beck is going to bring out the kicking unit or he's going to say we're going to go for it. But it looks as though he's going to send out his senior, Marco Vlasky.
Give an opportunity. Why not? Cap off an excellent career here for the Grant Generals, and he's getting an opportunity for, about a 39-yarder. So we'll see what they can do here. Hopefully get a good hold, good snap, good hold, good kick. Lefty, senior. That's going to help out. They're going to get a nice little offsides there on encroachment, for number 6. And so that's going to give them a better opportunity here and make a 39 down to about a 34-yard field goal attempt. By the way, he's been kicking them here throughout the whole entire game. Most of his extra points go about 45 yards. So let's see what kind of leg he's got here.
Good snap, good hold. It's long enough, and it is good!
An excellent kicker.
Marco Vlasky knocks that one through for the 3rd point of the game.
Man, he could have made that one he could have had 10 more yards. Before that penalty even came down, he would have been able to have that no problem. He booted that one all the way through the uprights and just dead center. What a great kick there by Marco, and just been doing it all season, and a high percentage kicker, a guy who does it on both the place kicking and the punting. So a senior coming in, a 6-foot guy, he does it. He's got long legs and just doing a great job here throughout the season of giving his team a good opportunity to capitalize on touchdowns with extra points and even kick a field goal. You don't see that at this level a lot, especially long field goals like that. You see little chip shots, but man, that one really had some distance to go there. So what a great job by Marco.
6:21, defense, offense, special teams. That's what I call a hometown buffet right there, Mitch.
$12.99.
Has the Lightning looking to get on the board here as Isaiah Ricard, the 6'1 junior, will bring that one all the way out to his own 19-yard line, and that's where Jake Rowe will take over. As we're here on senior night and homecoming, as the pep band, the General Army out here, the great fans, the great friends of Grant football. What a wonderful spectacle, and what a great opportunity, and what a great memory for all these young men who will forever cherish their high school football game. On first down is Rowe looking for Ian Danian, a 5'10 senior, streaking down the middle there. And
yeah, I need to put a little more air underneath that pass as it was kind of a little bit more of a direct flight, and he just didn't give the receiver much of an opportunity to catch that. So he needs to be able to get that ball under the air there so he can get his arms extended and get his hands underneath the ball, come down with that catch. You know, and Franklin, again, we've seen him put together a few drives here. Let's see if they can do that again and just stop coughing the ball up there and just giving Grant just too many opportunities.
On first down, and the Lightning will give it off to the big fella inside, and he's meet immediately. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Third down and 7 for Franklin.
3rd down, 7 here for the Lightning. As Rowe will send 3 to the bottom. Rowe will drop back, pressure. Swings it near side, caught by Ricard. And he is met immediately near the sticks. But the big fella there,
stick.
Brennan Beck.
Man, good stick.
Recognize that name, Beck? Coach Beck, son, Brennan Beck.
I get it.
Brennan
Beck. Bringing Beck back.
Brennan Beck this year, 11th in the state, total tackles with 57.
Yeah,
57 tackles on the year there. And boy, that young man is sure going to have a bright future.
I don't think you can claim the coach favoritism on the son player there. I don't think you can claim that with this guy. He's an excellent player, just a great defensive player. Just blows up a lot of plays.
So the second punt of the game for the Lightning, as Luke will stand at midfield, and this will take a Lightning bounce. And that is where Coach John Beck and Logan Going will take over. Fans, I want to take this opportunity here to recognize a very important member of the team here, NoHo's Hawaiian Cafe. They provide all the meals to those hungry young men out there before the game. Check them out here in Portland, 4627 Northeast Fremont Street, NoHo's Hawaiian Cafe. So thank you so much to continue to fuel those young men. And when you're a growing boy like that, boy.
Man, free meal. When you're growing like that, a free meal. Do you remember those days? God, we used to get Subway before the game handed to us, and it was like a Christmas every single Friday evening, man. It was awesome.
So as the clock continues to move with 4:12 to go,
it'll be interesting to see what Franklin does here for the defensive side of the ball, and just to see if they continue only rush, and they're really only dropping 4 guys. And so let's see if they pack that line of scrimmage up a little bit. There's a good one there. They broke through and just couldn't quite make the tackle, and they were able to get a good gain there for the Grant Generals.
As the Generals will get all the way to the
Tatum Moses, the ball carrier for
Tatum Moses here.
13 on the run.
Jamaris Jenkins almost with the tackle there in the backfield for a tackle for loss, but just couldn't quite get him. It was only get one hand on him, unfortunately. And so ended up being a first down for the Grant Generals inside their own 30. Maybe another opportunity here for Coach Beck to go down the field.
So Logan will stand in the gun, one at the top. As Leatherman will go in motion. Give it off to the big fella, Jaden Moses. He'll scamper, and he will fall forward all the way close to the first down marker.
Jaden Moses,
and now we have a different quarterback in the game, Ethan McLaughlin, a 5'10 junior. Now has an opportunity to spin the rock a little bit.
Yeah, not even halftime, and he's getting some run. I love it. And it's a guy that, is a junior, so he's going to get some run here tonight and possibly get some run next year also. I mean, you got to think Logan's probably going to come back and really dominate again here next year. And good time for that guy to get out there on homecoming, kind of show what he's got to offer in the ball game. And great scamper here.
As the young man, speaking of scamper, will pick up enough for the first down there.
Yeah, it looks like we're dealing with a little bit of, I think, some attitude here on the Franklin side. He kind of walked by the ref. I think he said something, and
you can certainly see that he is a quick young man there, but unfortunately penalties have caused him to negate that great run.
Well, I thought it was going to be on Franklin. It looked like he'd walked by the ref and said something there, but it ended up being for the Grant Generals. There is an unsportsmanlike conduct, and I think Coach Beck might have a colorful conversation, to say the least, there a little bit later on with that individual.
So the arm stretched out.
Yeah, you just don't want to really, you don't want to make yourself look bad like that, and make your school kind of get punished by a 15-yard silly mistake like that. You just keep your nose down, keep working hard. No need to really say much at this point. 44-0. You gotta stay focused.
Second down and 5 here. As the Generals have pretty much dominated this entire football game, as they have forced 4.
A quick conversation between the refs there. I'm not sure exactly what was going on. I thought maybe they were contemplating on maybe changing the number of that penalty, or possibly changing the penalty overall, but boy, is he fast or what?
On second down, Ethan scampers his way all the way down the left-hand side, and he gets in the end zone for the 50th point of the football game.
Man, he made that look pretty easy there. He only had to make a few guys miss, as I think the blocking schemes were done about as precise as you could get there for those guys. He made that one look pretty easy. He's a shifty individual, though. He can go left, go right really easy and pick up yards. Explosive.
So the Generals get their 50th point of the game, and safe to say has been all Generals. As Vlasky, good snap, good hold, kick is up, looks good, and it is good.
He kicked that all the way into the parking lot. No joke.
So Vlasky putting a little bit of oomph behind this one on homecoming night here. 51-0. Generals with a commanding lead. Don't go anywhere.
Vlasky to kick off for Grant.
51-0. That's not an error. That's dominance. That's dominance, Mitch. I don't care who you are. You put up 51 points in 8 quarters.
Nothing.
The Generals put up 51 in 2 quarters.
Gosh. Man, just to give up 0 points, too. That's a real special night for these guys. Man, you got to think that they're having just the time of their life out there on homecoming night, senior night, getting to fly around, dominate guys. It's more fun when you're the guy dominating the other person across the ball from you, and instead of the other way around. So
Fernando Magallanes on the kickoff return for the Lightning.
See if Franklin can get something put together here. As they got a decent little return. That was about a 30-yard return for the Franklin Lightning, and let's see if they can get the ball in the air here. And just such a tough defense to go up against with the Generals, and the way they stay home. They're not fooled by anything. All their guys are doing their defensive tasks to the T. They don't really allow those guys to get outside. They're pushing all the ball carriers back into the middle of the field, and so let's just see if they can get anything going. Maybe a little out route, flare route here. Just put the ball in the air, little short pass. They're going to do a little run pass option for a fly sweep.
As the Lightning with the reverse, a bit of trickery there. As this time, this one, as Ian Deninen was the young man that was responsible for that handoff there. And fans, these broadcasts would not be possible without the wonderful support of you, friends of Grant football, who work so hard to bring these great broadcasts and also to make sure our young men are equipped properly with great uniforms and helmets, as well as the coaches. And Coach Beck can always get those nice visors. Would not be possible without the great friends of Grant football. So if you'd like to continue the broadcast, please visit Friends of Grant football, where you can donate anywhere from $1 to $10,000, however you appreciate. Thank you so much to the wonderful work of Friends of Grant football. On second down here, Rowe swing near side, and this one is caught by Antonio Dos Santos, the 6'4 junior, hauls in his first catch of the game. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the Lightning.
Yeah, that's a big individual. Look how big those guys are on offense. They do a great job of getting open in the field there. It's got to make sure that quarterback can get them the football. And he's been doing an okay job here this evening. He's struggled. He's put the ball on the ground a few times. But if Jake Rowe can just get that ball in the air just with a little bit of timing so those receivers can run underneath it and go catch the ball. And then they can get up the field there and make guys miss. And that's probably how they're going to get on the board here. Get those first 6 points for the Franklin Lightning here. They just got to make sure they can, one play at a time. It's 3rd down. They got to get at least 7 yards here.
So 3rd down and 7, as Mitch alluded to, as Rowe drops back. Throws downfield, and this one is intended for Cameron Talton, and he takes quite the spill there.
Pass is incomplete.
As a penalty flag will fly, and there is a bit of extracurricular there as that young man took quite a spill.
A scary spill there too, as he fell with his head first on the turf. Glad to see he's okay and up off the turf and was able to shake that one off. That was a scary, scary moment there when he went down. That's why you get up and you really you love every play out there. It's such a single play sport. These guys can go down at any moment, from anything from a dislocated finger, a rolled ankle, down to any sort of neck injury. You just hate to see anything like that. Just so happy he was able to get up, bounce right up, and walk off the field there underneath his own power.
So as the officials work this one out here, as we had mentioned, it's senior night and homecoming. And I believe it's only appropriate that we recognize Peter Zahari, who's been the man all season long. As I shared with you, he had to ask his father what a Leatherman was, and that surely makes me happy.
That means he's not old enough to have one.
Well, that's probably true there. So congratulations to Peter and his wonderful leadership. And Coach Beck talked about him in the pregame show, saying that Peter was so committed to the weight room, and he has done so much. In fact, Peter was featured on Oregon Live as one of the top tight ends in the state, and boy, they sure got that publication correct, because he's been nothing but a workhorse this entire year, not only on catching the football, but he certainly does the little things down in the trenches there. His ability to not always have to get the football and his blocking abilities. And, the guy is tired by the end of the football game, and he is such a backbone of this program.
Gosh, and he's just an excellent guy, too, off the field. And that's probably one of my favorite parts, is just talking with him. He's a guy who just talks to you with a smile on his face, and he's just an upbeat guy, and just coming from a great family, and people that really invest their time in the Grant football program and just the whole athletic program here for Grant High School, and just all around, just excellent people, fun to work with, very professional, people that show up early, stay late, just all around good people, just people that make you want to work harder and get up every day and be a better person. So that's just a great family of people, and Peter's no different there from his folks.
On 1st down, as Rowe dropped back there, and Boy, they sure dodged another bullet there as he put that ball on the turf, but one of his big fellas up front pounced on that one to bring it a second down and about 20 with 42 seconds to go here in the first half. At halftime, we'll have an opportunity here from one of the important folks of the youth program, the head coach of the middle school football, Josh Haley. We'll have an opportunity to sit down with him and talk about the importance of youth football and the wonderful commitment to youth, as that's the future of Grant football as they look to add to their 27 PIL titles. As Rowe on second down throws downfield, and this one is intercepted. Intercepted far side, and it's who would you expect there? I'll give you one guess. I'll give you one guess, Mitch. It's his 5th interception of the year. I'll give you one guess.
He's going to be adding on to that.
Alex Gray.
Exactly.
So
that's such a great night there for him, man. I'll tell you what, he's got an awesome ball hawking skill. I just love to watch him when the ball goes in the air. He's got that ability. I've talked about it all season long to keep one eye on his guy, one eye on the quarterback, and then a third eye on that football. And so he makes a lot of interceptions. I don't know how he does it. I need to check that guy's face mask or something.
So with 4 seconds to go here, Coach Beck's going to have his team retire to the locker room. But they find themselves with a commanding lead as they roll into halftime. 51 to nothing. So here on senior night and homecoming, Coach Beck has got his team 24 minutes away for bringing home their 27th PIL title. We'll take a timeout, but when we come back, we'll have an opportunity to hear the voice and the head coach of the 7th and 8th grade football.
I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. You come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the Heimlich, throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, when you throw that to the side, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time, time. I get those goosebumps every time. I get those goosebumps every time. Those goosebumps every time, yeah. You come around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those comments, I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time.
As you can see, Grant students have a bunch of spirit and enthusiasm. As a teacher here, I'm proud to say both my math classes and my AVID program are full of enthusiasm. But this furry friend likes to go to the games as well. But you don't have to take my word for it. This guy knows. When we get enthusiastic, we high five.
I get those goosebumps every time. I get those goosebumps every time.
I'm Mr. Phillips and our students are amazing.
I'm Matt Kabza. I'm a business teacher.
I'm the head varsity baseball coach here at Grant High School. I love being a General. The student body section is amazing. Go Generals.
Fans, you all know that giving back to your community can be one of the most gratifying things one can feel. But one person in particular is Kenneth Acker, former Grant alum athlete and NFL player for the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Kenneth Acker founded the Ackrite Foundation as he brought his generosity to Friends of Grant Football as a gold-level sponsor this year, as he helps our players with the important equipment they need to be safe and effective. The Ackright Foundation also sponsored the first Grant-hosted 7-on-7 tournament this year. Kenneth Acker and the Ackright Foundation has been an incredible example to our players of what can be accomplished through hard work in sports and education. Big thank you to the Ackright Foundation and the generosity of Kenneth Acker, Grant alum and athlete.
I think I've always known he was going to do something like this. He did not want to do active duty because he wants to do college first. I think that was the biggest thing for him, instead of waiting and then doing college after.
One of the differences I noticed when he came back from basic training, he was more organized in how he's going about things a little bit. I know he commented that a lot of things his classmates would do that it didn't bother him before, but now he realizes, because he's been outside of high school, I think maybe he's a little more responsible.
He's thinking about his future a lot more. He talks about it and the different possibilities. And he mentioned the ROTC program as well. And he said, I could graduate as an officer. And so I was kind of excited when he mentioned that he could do that as well.
I would just tell people, if their son or daughter was considering the National Guard, that I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's something that can really help somebody grow. And at the same time, you're serving your country, which is a great thing too. So I think it's a good opportunity.
Fans, are you in the market for a new home? Maybe you're looking to downsize. Maybe you're looking to increase your square footage. But look no further than to Tammy Going of Windermere Realtors, a parent of one of our wonderful athletes and sponsor that's been serving Northeast Portland for many years. She's an advocate for our students and student athletes and generously gives her time.
Welcome back to the broadcast here. We're at halftime, 51-0. And it's been safe to say that it has been all generals in this football game on a brisk homecoming night, senior night, as the fans coming out here to support their generals. The pep band is fired up, and we're fired up too. Great to have you here on the Grant Sports Network. And joining me here is the gentleman who is instrumental behind the scenes in the success of Grant football. Many programs and head coaches always talk about the importance of a youth program. And I'm joined with the head football coach of the 7th and 8th grade team here, Josh Haley. And, Coach, is this your first time on a broadcast here?
It is my first time, yeah. I haven't gotten called out before, yep.
Well, it's good to have you here. Coach, you've been around the game for a lot of years here. You've certainly coached all different levels in your time of coaching football here. But talk about the importance of getting young men involved playing football at a young age, especially at that 7th and 8th grade level.
Yeah, I think across football across the country right now, that's really key. Every head coach at the high school level is very aware of the fact that they've got to bring the kids up. And we not just need to bring them through, but make sure we're building up both safe and good fundamental skills. And it's what every head coach wants to know. They've got that funnel coming through, bringing the kids up into their program.
Coach, what about for you? You certainly, it's not just a part-time gig. I mean, it's a full-time gig, and anybody that's been around the game knows that it doesn't matter if you're coaching elementary, middle school, high school, and beyond here. It's a full-time commitment. Talk about for you, the gratitude that you get out of coaching young men and then see them progress all the way through high school.
Yeah, that's exactly it. There's nothing better than being out on a night like this and see all these kids, many of whom that a lot of the coaches that came up through the youth program as well that are now coaching, kids like this guy walking right by us in the front. These are all kids that came through our program, and that's something that in the PIL in Portland we need more of, because the outer schools have always had that. They've got these grassroots programs building up, and seeing it is really the best part. And, of course, parents and the staff and the high school coaches are very supportive of us, but seeing the kids out here continuing to play, even playing other sports at Grant, has been great.
Coach, so often you hear a lot of kids starting out playing football is that, well, I don't know how to play, or I don't know the rules, or I don't know which pads go to where within my pants there. Talk about, it's more than just X's and O's for these young men. It's an opportunity for them to learn the game, tackling the right way, blocking the right way, catching the right way. Talk about how much you and Gino, the assistant coach, put such a huge emphasis on learning the fundamentals of football before they get into high school.
Yeah, absolutely. We're part of a USA Heads Up football thing that's kind of a nationwide thing, and it's a huge point of emphasis. When we first start out the season, we do a lot of conditioning stuff. It's a lot of technique. That technique carries forward all the way through the season. We never stop working on that stuff, and it makes sure that they're playing it the safe way.
Coach, how can fans that are watching this, if they have a youngster that wants to get involved playing football, maybe they're a little bit tentative to come out there and strap on the helmet here, but how can they get involved, and how can they have the opportunity to start playing football for the Generals?
I think the best way to do it is to get out at whatever level you're looking at going into and get out and just watch it, see it, be around it. Yeah. If it's a youth game, then come out to our practice, see how we practice, see how we move the kids around. Come watch us play, and it's a lot of fun, and the kids are having fun.
Coach, one last question here, and I think this is always the part that, sometimes I think we forget that anybody that's in athletics, especially football, yourself, myself, play football our entire life, it's more than just X's and O's. It's about the camaraderie. It's about the team environment. It's about toughness. When the going get tough, do you stress that to the young men out there and the importance of, guys, this just goes beyond just getting in a huddle and running a play and executing it? It's outside of the gridiron, and it takes place in the classroom and at home as well.
I think absolutely, but it's also, I think, one of the unique things about football is I do believe that it inherently teaches those things almost as a requirement to even be part of it. Sure. And so it does build in there, and, we try to teach that. We try to teach these kids to bring each other up as well, and so it's a great part of football.
Coach, great to have you here.
All right, thanks a lot.
Head coach of the 7th and 8th grade Grant Generals football, Josh Haley, and Gino Zahari providing his insight as well. We'll take a timeout, but when we come back, Mitch and I will provide our first half thoughts as the Generals have themselves a commanding lead, 51-0. You're watching live coverage of Grant football right here on the Grant Sports Network.
Hi, fans. Did you know that 1 in 3 people notice somebody's smile right when they meet for the first time? Turn to Parkside Orthodontics if you're not confident in your smile. Dr. Rebecca Cooperstein, a board-certified orthodontist in Portland, Oregon, and a neighborhood favorite for braces. Dr. Cooperstein is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontic treatment for all ages in a caring, comfortable environment. Parkside Orthodontics is a state-of-the-art digital office with advanced technology to provide superior results. They also provide a convenient finance option that requires no additional down payment and offers lower monthly payments. If you want to turn that frown upside down, visit Parkside or
Welcome back to Marshall campus, home of the Generals here, as they have their brand new remodeled high school and stadium. We had a chance to see a great clip of that wonderful facility that those young men and young women and those teachers and administrators will have an opportunity to educate this wonderful part of Portland. But speaking of wonderful, Mitch, and speaking of Portland, the Generals have themselves a commanding lead. I think that's probably a safe way to say it, but you're going to put yourself in a position to win a lot of football games when you force 5 turnovers.
Oh, absolutely. And what you do is you come out in the second half here and you try to capitalize on those 5 turnovers in the first half. And how you do that is you try to get out here and get another one. you try to continue getting on these guys here, try to really kick them when they're down and make sure they don't come up for air here in the second half. That's football for you, though. You don't give these guys an opportunity to get back in this ball game, and so you got to do that on the defensive side of the ball and continue what you've been doing in the first half here in the second half, and that's just creating turnovers and making sure these guys understand that you're in control of this ball game and not them. That and them being Franklin.
So as both teams make their way back out onto the field here, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we will have a new halftime part of the broadcast. Mitch will go up to the Jeopardy stand, and he will play Know Your Franklin High School Knowledge. Don't go anywhere. We got ourselves a good one. We'll be back.
Hi fans, did you know that 1 in 3 people notice somebody's smile right when they meet for the first time? Turn to Parkside Orthodontics if you're not confident in your smile. Dr. Rebecca Cooperstein, a board-certified orthodontist in Portland, Oregon, and a neighborhood favorite for braces. Dr. Cooperstein is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontic treatment for all ages in a caring, comfortable environment. Parkside Orthodontics is a state-of-the-art digital office with advanced technology to provide superior results. They also provide a convenient finance option that requires no additional down payment and offers lower monthly payments. If you want to turn that frown upside down, visit Parkside or
Welcome back to the Rose City in the Marshall campus on senior night, homecoming. And now it's time for a different segment here at halftime. It's the very shivery and cold Mitch Buchheit over here. But Mitch, we're going to test your knowledge with PIL and Franklin High School, okay?
All right.
So I'm going to anticipate. I'm going to ask you 5 questions.
Okay.
And if you
Do I get no under?
You get no.
Okay.
No, but if you get 3 of them right, I will make sure that Blind Onion Pizza, one of our great sponsors, is filled up in your belly.
All right.
How does that sound?
All right. Don't tease me with some blind onion.
A Franklin High School graduate named Douglas Engelhart invented which piece of computer hardware? Was it the monitor? Was it the keyboard? Or was it the mouse?
What is the mouse?
Correct. 1 down. Douglas Engelbart was the inventor.
I tell you, I like this game.
Of the computer mouse.
You know, it's just natural smarts and, just a God-given ability. That's what it is.
Second question.
Okay.
Do you know your Franklin High School? Which coach is a graduate who won the 1939 NCAA basketball championship under the Tall Firs? Was it Ernie Kent? Was it Wayne Tinkle? Or was it Howard Hobson?
Who is Howard Hobson?
Correct.
Yes.
Howard Hobson, the first coach to win the NCAA national championship.
I'm smelling pizza around here.
I'm smelling pizza here as well. That's Mitch, 2 for 2 here. As the Generals have themselves a 51-0 lead as we will start the second half. Mitch Buchheit, Brian Gregg, Brody Matthews. As Ricard will bring this one out to start the third quarter.
First down, Lightning.
I tell you what, though, the Lightning's got to get it going, right? I mean, we've been saying it all evening. They put together a few drives. Even the last drive there before the half, it was not terrible, and so we got to make sure that they can get the ball down the field, and they're just making one silly mistake every single possession here. If they can just eliminate those silly mistakes and make sure that they're not getting penalized and not creating any turnovers here for the Grant Generals, and we'll see what they can do on offense.
Has Rowe on first down, pitches it near side, and he gives it off to the big fella there, Nick Gomez.
He does got some weight.
Loss of 1.
But, again, who's there coming up from his outside linebacker position is Peter Zahari, the Leatherman, doing it all there, coming up and sticking him in there in the nose.
PZ, man, that's my guy. I tell you what, I like him.
Second and 11.
We've spoke a lot about him here throughout the season, and even a lot here tonight, there being senior night. Gino helping us out with doing a great job, as always, here behind the scenes.
On second down, high snap, and Rowe will keep this one himself, and he will get about to the initial line of scrimmage. And so that'll bring up a third and 10.
I saw him get tackled from behind there. It looked like he landed a little awkward on that tackle, and I'm not sure who the tackler was there, but Rowe came up gimping just a little bit here. Hopefully he can shake that off and continue playing.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a senior. That's Big Sennin.
3rd and 10 for Franklin.
There you
Big
go.
Sending Marshall, the senior there. Great job to Sendin, and he'll certainly be missed. On 3rd down, roll out, rear, far side, and this one is intercepted. Far side. And that'll be the 6th turnover of the game for the Lightning.
Pass is intercepted.
So, I don't know if you got a chance to see it there, Mitch, but PZ, our boy, put a stick there on the quarterback, and, boy, he stood up, and I think he might be counting the earpieces right now because he took quite a lick there.
Easy peasy. Jeez, man, that is laying licks out there. He's getting that highlight film ready for the next level. That's what he's doing.
But unfortunately, that will be negated by a penalty here. And that will unfortunately take the interception off the board. And so the Lightning will advance the football field all the way to the Lightning 40-yard line. And that was a block in the back on the defense, which we don't see all that often, Mitch. But
we've seen that. We've seen that twice now on the, or we saw, clipping on the defense and now blocking the back on the defense. And I haven't seen that called except for this year twice now. So maybe I'm just not paying close enough attention. I don't know. Couldn't be.
So Denon.
Penalty against Grant.
And, again, coming up from that outside linebacker position is Jamison Price. And, again, no clearance sale on that rack as he brings him down in the backfield. But, unfortunately, I believe that there was another penalty flag there, Mitch.
Yeah, I think there was that a horse collar? Did they get that for him? Too aggressive on the tackle there. And, an area of concern they've – all the ways up from the NFL down to the collegiate here, now the high school level, they've been taking that tackle out of. It's too dangerous, and it's dangerous for the tackler. It's dangerous for the person being tackled there. And I'm kind of glad they started penalizing that a few years back and don't allow that to happen anymore.
2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Inside trap. This time it's Nick Jusen, and he will scamper his way all the way
Jusen on the carry for the Lightning.
To the 1st down marker. I don't know if he got it or not, Mitch, but he is close. And that'll bring up a 2nd down here as we see on the replay. Give it to his big fella there up the middle. And he gets all the way, scamper just short of the 1st down marker, so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 1.
Jusen might need to be juicing here to get these extra yards. Get about one more yard and he's going to be able to get his team into that 1st down category again, and just over the midfield point here, right at the 50-yard line. Let's see if they end up going over the top. I hope they run the ball. Run the ball. He needs to probably dive a little bit more forward there instead of taking the Tom Brady approach there and just kind of going down, and probably needs to get an extra yard and understand the situation. And you really just got 1 yard to go, and before you get to that 1st down, you put your team in a better position here, and 1st and 10 instead of 3rd and 1. So, understanding the situation is going to be key here for these guys moving forward, and Jake Rowe being a senior probably should have known that. Not sure if he's got a lot of playing experience or not, but got to understand the situation there, and better yet, here we are, 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1, 3 at the top. Rowe drops back. Caught Isaiah Ricard, and some more to the 30, and it's brought down all the way at the 25-yard line. So after the great throw and catch there.
How about that play call? 3rd and 1, he goes with a slant route. I love it. Right there, and he throws it right into traffic. You see about 5 black jerseys and 1 white one, but he goes up there, makes the catch, comes down with it, 1st down, huge chunk play there for Franklin.
So the Lightning knocking on the door, looking for their 1st points of the game. They have found themselves in this situation once before, but unfortunately that was stalled due to their 2nd fumble of the game. As Rowe on first down, swing pass far side. This is Hernando down all the way to the far side, and he is near the end zone. And that'll bring up a first down, goal to go from the 5-yard line.
Trying to catch lightning in a bottle there, getting on the out route, just really getting on the far side of the field and making a run for it. Hernando with a huge play there for Franklin High, putting them in the first and goal to go here. So maybe a good opportunity. Franklin get on the board and get off that 0 number that they've been on all game here thus far.
First and goal for the Lightning from the 4-yard line.
First and goal to go for the Lightning, for the high school down the road, trying to get a little enthusiasm there in the young men in maroon and white. And he will give it off to the big fella here, and he is met right there at the line of scrimmage by no other.
You pick a number.
Brennan Beck was the young man there, and that'll be no gain.
There was a lot of tacklers on that ball, on that ball carry, anyways, and not a lot of places for him to go. Put your head down and try to get the best of it at that point. I'd like to see him continue running the football, though. You know, they've had success. You know, minus that last play, they've had pretty good success. The passing game is kind of what's put them in trouble here.
Pass to the corner of the end zone, and this one is incomplete. As Rowe is looking for the fade. And the General's doing a great job there. As Ricard, a name we have said quite a few times this game, is unable to haul that one in. As Alex Gray, a name that we have said so many times this year, doing a great job out there on Gray Island.
And you know, I was watching the end of that play. I think he actually ended up catching that football before it hit the ground, but he was obviously well outside the sticks and out of bounds there, but still just kind of showing that true athleticism and ball hawking skills and great hands there, Alex Gray. Great play.
On third down, and it is a touchdown. Rowe to Antonio, and the Lightning have got their first touchdown of the game.
Just a great play, really. That's been their best play they've had all game here for Franklin. I know that, you know, not to sound mean or anything, might not mean a lot, but it's what it is it's a great play. It's a quick play, and that's where they need to focus, is getting the ball, to the quarterback, out of the quarterback's hands. Got to be quick. Got to be real fundamentally sound.
So after the Rowe touchdown of the game, the PAT is good, and the Lightning are on the board first. But the Generals still with a commanding lead, 51-7. We'll take a timeout. Don't go anywhere. You're watching live coverage of Grant football right here on the Grant Sports Network.
Hi, Grant General fans. These broadcasts would not be possible without the wonderful support of our great local companies. One company in particular that I want to recognize is Squires Electric Incorporated, which was founded in 1998. Through 20 years of dedication, Squires has provided excellent workmanship, extraordinary service, and have surrounded themselves with the best electricians in the industry. It's one of the company's core values to support the community, and they're proud to be able to enrich the lives of children and help provide the tools needed to succeed. Visit Squires Electric Incorporated, a proud sponsor.
$51-7 as Rowe connects with Antonio Santos, his big tight end, for the first score of the game. And, Mitch, I would most likely assume that Coach Beck is going to have his starters retire for the evening as they have themselves a comfortable lead of sorts.
Unless they're a senior. You know, it's kind of the wild card senior point here. I can see a couple guys that we don't normally see already out there on the ball field. You know, and this is what sports is all about, and this is actually why I enjoy playing sports the most here is the camaraderie between the teammates here, and even if they're an upperclassman, they don't necessarily mean that they're going to be on the field the entire game or even half of it, and sometimes if you know you're an elderly senior that's not necessarily the most athletic, you don't get to see the ball field at all throughout the year, and you get these opportunities especially on a special night like tonight where you got to think that your folks or family here is going to be in the stands for senior night, and for these guys to get out there on the ball field and show out there for their family and make those guys proud for them and show their support. It's just really a true specimen, a special occasion here for what the evening really entitles and what sports and football. And you know, we only got one more quarter here for the senior night, as we're going to jump right into the fourth quarter, but man, I'm just having a good time. I know these guys are having a good time. We get to see 58 points combined here for the evening. It's not boring whatsoever. Seeing a lot of scoring, a lot of excitement. So it's going to be a great fourth quarter. Here we go.
As we head to the fourth, this break is brought to you in part by Moon in Sixpence. We'll start the fourth. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, fans. Brian and Mitch here for Moon in Sixpence. After every broadcast, Mitch and I are fired up, generally after a huge general victory. But we also find ourselves a little bit hungry. And where do we turn? We turn to Moon and Sixpence, as Mike and Mary Marshall are parents of one of our great top senior players and proud owners of the Moon and Sixpence. They generously offer up their establishment every year to help Friends of Grant football fundraise, provide team dinners, and host coaches' meetings. The Grant community is very lucky to have this area favorite that supports the neighborhood, players, and families. Moon and Sixpence is a charming, classic English pub offering cask-conditioned ales with a dark
Sean Lowry on the tackle.
Welcome back. Mitch Bukite, Brian Gregg, Brody Matthews. Guy out here in the frigid cold. But nothing stops this young man. He's got a full beard out there. You know that he keeps that face warm. As the Generals have themselves a third down and 20 here to start the fourth quarter.
Well, we have to keep things interesting here, I guess. We'll go 3rd and 20. Why not? What play do you draw up? That?
As this time it'll be dropped for a loss there, and so unfortunately the Generals will be forced to punt. As this will be the first punt of the game for the Generals.
On the carry for Grant.
There we go. Now I'm seeing some numbers that we like to see here. Some year 12 guys that I don't get to see call their numbers very often here. This is what I was saying before the break. It's just super special. This is what sports is all about. You know, you get these guys out and they're playing scout team. They're busting their butts all week, you know, all year. They get to go out here and have some fun.
That's so true, Mitch. And, you know, the guys that start are just as important as the guys that prepare them for the week.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. You know, I did my fair share of scout team when I was a younger guy.
Mitch, what was your height and weight when you went into high school?
Oh, into high school.
Were you over 5'4"?
Yeah, I was right there. Right there, about 5'5".
5'5"?
5'5", 140 pounds.
140 pounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, soaking wet there.
God.
Yeah, I was a small kid, but I always said it was like I don't know if I know you're not an Oregon State fan, but I'm sure you know that Champ Flemings is who I was going with. He's 5'5", 145 pounds, catching footballs on Saturdays. So it's not always size, even in this football game that we play. But I was always that kid that you threw me the ball, I'd catch it. Didn't matter where it was at, I'd go catch it.
After the great punt here that we can see here on the replay, takes a Generals bounce, and It continues to be all Grants. The clock will continue to trickle.
What was Brian Gregg's position in high school?
Linebacker.
Linebacker, attaboy. Like to go up and pop people, huh? Like a stick.
Punch him in the mouth. Put my hand in the dirt a little bit on
There
the
you
other
go.
side of the ball. So,
Well, tight end every now and then or not?
no, you thought that I was.
Yeah, I thought so. You get those big hands.
Play a little center. You know, when you're a small school, you kind of play everywhere, right?
Yeah. That's what's best, though. It keeps you on your feet that way. It keeps you, it keeps you learning. It keeps it so we have a little knowledge. We're not completely idiots here on the broadcast for all sorts of positions here. I can tell you a lot about the linebacker position. I can tell you about the defensive line position. I can tell you about a strong safety, free safety. I can tell you all about that because I dabbled in those positions also. Not defensive line by any means, but strong safeties. And I played the game a long time and I was able to be around some guys that knew a lot more than I did at football and was great at teaching the game and not necessarily in expecting you to learn. They'd teach you the game, and so it's some lessons and some thoughts here I bring years and years later and put it on this broadcast, and hopefully these guys that are listening and watching Brady do his thing behind the camera and you do the play-by-play. You guys both do an excellent job, and just fun to work with you guys and kind of bring back the old football days and reminisce here on the homecoming nights and and everything. It's just been a great season thus far, and excited we get to get this half or this quarter of football and another game next week still. And
well, in any event, it's pretty much been all Generals in this football game. As Generals have got the Lightning deep in their own territory as Rowe fakes, now throws downfield looking for his big tight end, and that one is incomplete. And that'll bring up a fourth and very long here. So I anticipate we'll see the punt team coming out here. And again, the pressure has just been all over Rowe tonight as he had to get rid of that one.
yeah, and he actually he got some air underneath that ball there as he was trying to reach Santos, but a little too much there. And I think Santos was actually mistakenly running more towards the middle of the field. He should have kept on his seam route, and he might have had a closer chance. Maybe not at catching the ball, but we had a closer chance at it anyways.
Mike Hughes, the senior, standing to hit on, the Lightning 35-yard line. And a very high punt, not very far. And this takes a lob wedge bounce. And the Generals will take over at the Lightning 30-yard line. We'll step aside when we come back. The Generals will take over on offense. You're watching live coverage of Grant football right here on the Grant Sports Network. .5:12 to go here in the fourth. As Ethan McLaughlin's going to be the gunslinger, and he's going to keep this one himself, and he's going to slide all the way near the first down marker there.
Sportsman-like play right there.
So the young man getting an opportunity to play, and boy, Mitch, you certainly look at these last 2 weeks, and last week, the Generals scored 79 points, and right now they have 51. They held Madison to 6, and they have held the opposition, Franklin, tonight with 7. So it's what I call a pretty good performance the last 2 Fridays.
Yeah, that defense is pretty stout right now. They're not giving up a lot of yardage, not a lot of points, and they're not they're not penalizing themselves either. That's one thing that's very important. Most of the penalties here this evening have been on the offensive side of the ball, and we'll call it iffy holding penalties. I feel like we're watching the referees finish the play there before they throw the flag, but they're doing a great job here. You know, everybody, the refs included, they're all having a good time. Good game and good showing here this evening. Franklin just big time penalties. They had some good drives that just couldn't capitalize, and unfortunate for those guys, but they're still out there fighting, and you love to see that.
Hayden McCauley was the ball carrier there on first down. And he will give it off to his running back there once again, and he will pick up about 2 yards. And that'll bring up a second down and about 9.
And one more thing about that Ethan McLaughlin run there, that quarterback sneak. What he did was he slid to keep the clock running. And what that does is that allows everybody to continue with their evening here, and 51-7. There's no need to run out of bounds there. It's a sportsmanlike play, and you just love to see that at this level.
So Ethan will go into the gun, send one to the top, one to the bottom. And he will give it.
Call it.
And the Lightning are right there to bring down McCauley.
Ball carrier for Grant. Loss of 6 on the play.
Loss of 6 on that particular play here, and so it looks like they're going to bring up a 3rd and long right there on the Grant 30. And so I wonder if they're going to actually put the ball in the air again here and try to get the first down. I know they're not going to go towards the end zone per se, but I got to think that that Grant's going to probably just do a rollout here with Ethan and see if he can't get free and just see if he can get up to that first down marker and continue marching down the field and chewing away at that clock there as we reach the 2-minute point.
As Ethan rolls out, and it will be brought down in the backfield as he was unable to elude the big Antonio Santos. So that'll bring up 4th down here, and you can see on the replay here, Mitch, you know, Ethan using his athleticism here, but just unable to get away from that arm tackle, and he's brought down.
Go-go gadget arm got him right there. Looked like trying to be a little Russell Wilson getting outside the pocket like that. You know?
I wouldn't go there. Okay, I don't know.
He got caught, so you can't call him Russell Wilson.
I don't know. There's Scooter.
There's like Baker Mayfield, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, how's your fantasy team doing, by the way?
Oh, well, let me tell you, I'm terrible at fantasy. I almost gave up. Like, we did a fantasy basketball, and I'm going to really show my true colors of being bad at fantasy when we start the basketball thing up here.
As Ethan on 4th down will keep this one himself. Still on his feet. Breaks one tackle, still going all the way.
What
a
sportsman
slide
play.
Down short of the goal line there.
What a sportsman-like play.
And we can see here on the – you thought he was down there at the 25-yard
What a classic play.
there.
Classy play there.
But he decided to fall down there short of the goal line.
A kid that doesn't get a lot of run and makes an excellent play like that. That could have been, man, that's on Oregon Live this evening if he goes in the end zone and just decides to take a seat. What an excellent decision there by that individual. What a class act. I hope Coach Beck gives him a little extra praise for that.
That's a good young man right there as the clock will tick down to 5.
You know, you don't see that every day, especially these days. You know, somebody that thinks ahead. That was a thought-out thing there. He knew he was going to slide, and he wanted to do that from the very get-go there. It was just an excellent show of sportsman-like conduct there. Just excellent.
So your final score, 51-7, and Mitch, I think it's safe to say it was all Generals from the beginning with the 5 turnovers by the Lightning. Certainly put the Generals in a position to win this football game. But we'll take a timeout. We'll step aside. We'll give our thoughts and analysis. We look forward here. But in any event, Grant wins their 27th PIL title.
This
and that's
evening.
what matters. You get to hang another piece of hardware there in your locker room there. So Final score 51-7. Don't go anywhere. Mitch and I will come back and provide our post-game thoughts. Final score 51-7. Don't go anywhere.
Hi fans, Brian and Mitch here for Blind Onion Pizza and Pub, a neighborhood favorite pizza joint close to Grant and offering great honest pizza, sandwiches, salads, and their craft beers. The Blind Onion offers a casual, nostalgic, fun atmosphere and has a strong focus on delicious pizza, making it a popular hangout that fits perfectly in the community. Check out the delicious house special pizzas and oven-baked sandwiches. And don't forget about their wonderful appetizers and excellent salads with bargain prices on microbrews and special pizza creations. The Blind Onion, located at 3345 Northeast Broadway Street, right here in Portland. Either after the game or anytime. Blind Onion Pizza and Pub.
Welcome back. Final score here from the Marshall campus. 51-7, and you know, Mitch, it's crazy to think that about 2 months ago, the Generals were in a dogfight, 17-6, Gresham. Then they went to Newburgh, squeaked one out, 29-8, and then they went on the road to West Salem, losing 23-13. You know, and you saw them play a good football team that week. But they have absolutely regrouped since that one loss. Then they had their unfortunate one against Barlow. But they go undefeated in conference thus far here. What do you attribute that to?
It's just Coach John Beck. You know,
the visor.
The visor and his defense. You know, I jumped on with you on the air that West Salem game on the black turf down in Salem. And it was, I don't want to call it a dominant performance by West Salem, but they sure to seem like they were the better team, at least that night anyways. Yeah. And I jumped on and taken some thoughts home that evening. I went, you know, we'll kind of see what this offense has to see here, and better and more importantly, the defense. And it's been really awesome to see how far the defense has come this season. And really more importantly is Logan. And Logan going and his ability to put that ball around the field, and it really showed this evening in his yards per attempt. You know, he was right around 20 yards per attempt, and man, that's a number you don't see very often, no matter what level.
You know, we talked with Coach Beck in the pregame show about how, you know, everybody talks about this offense. You know, how many different weapons they have, but they don't. Sometimes we don't talk about this defense. And as they go to take on Lincoln next Friday night here to close out the season here, nothing would mean more to this program, where the Generals have had a difficult time with the Cardinals of Lincoln over the past number of years. In the Battle of the Bridges, Mitch.
Battle of the Bridges.
And I think this would be a huge statement if they can go in next Friday night, come out with a W, and then go walk into the playoffs knowing that you won the conference. You're most likely going to have home field advantage. Mm-hmm. And you're playing good football right now. You're playing hot. Logan played, once again, dominant again. Luke McCullough all over the field. Leatherman, Peter Zahari, PZ. Everywhere. Jay Sean Pete. I mean, there's so many different weapons. I am really excited for the playoffs, and our fans can catch it right here on the Grant Sports Network.
Gosh, it's just going to be an excellent time here, and the whole playoff run, and the most exciting part for me throughout this entire season has just been the growth as we speak of here on the offensive side and the defensive side. But I'm just going to speak on the offensive side here just momentarily, and that's just John Beck and his confidence in his quarterback. And Burchart, you know, on the outside, and Zahari and those guys are running great routes, and what it does as a coach is it allows you to open up the playbook, and when you can open up the playbook, it keeps the defense on their heels. They don't know if you're gonna run, pass, run, pass, run. It doesn't. They just are on their heels the entire game. And when you can open up the playbook and you have such a gifted quarterback like Logan, and he can put that ball anywhere, timing routes, RPOs, anything that will have an advantage there for the offense, it just puts you in an enormous position to succeed in a football game. And I think that the growth that we've seen from me personally from the West Salem game on has just been excellent, throughout this entire season.
Well, nothing's more special to these young men than winning on homecoming, as they'll head home and iron their white shirts, and they'll learn how to tie their ties tonight, and those young ladies will have an opportunity to find that perfect dress for tomorrow night. Mitch, we'll be back here next Friday night, and we'll have an opportunity to call a game against Lincoln. Hey, I'm excited, but what I'm really excited for is Coach Beck, and they get their 27th league title here in the PIL. So a happy group of young men in there, but we'll talk about this one next Friday night over at Lincoln High School. I'm excited. So for Mitch Buchheit, for my man over here, always getting it done, to Gino, you're my man over here, getting it done. Grant Generals get the win 51-7 on homecoming night in senior. So for Mitch Buchheit, for Brody Matthews, I'm Brian Gray. God bless you all. Have a safe, wonderful weekend. Good night from Marshall High School.
Like many households in the Grant community full of boys, football is on the minds of many. Hi, General fans. What an exciting time of year as the leaves begin to change and the kids are back in school. And that can only mean one thing. It's football season. Hi there. Carmen Von Arks here. I'm the president of Friends of Grant Football. As you may know, our Grant community is committed to creating an opportunity for all of our students to strap up the helmet and play what I consider the greatest sport on grass. The Friends of Grant Football strives to enrich the lives of all of our players, students, and alumni, and our neighborhood by providing a program that sustains generation to generation in the pursuit of academic and athletic excellence. Football may be our game, but education is our aim. The foundation of the Generals is built on integrity, accountability, inclusion, and a proud competitive spirit. If you'd like to get more involved, please visit our website at friendsofgrantfootball.com. That's friendsofgrantfootball.com. And go Generals.
Brian here for Grant Boosters, who help raise money for Grant's High School's many diverse clubs and athletic teams. Grant's clubs and teams keep our kids inspired, active, and connected. The success of Grant's clubs and teams would not be possible without the support of parents, friends, and family like you. Please donate today to continue these wonderful activities. Please go to grantgives.org.